Yeah, baby, you know I'ma break you down tonight, you know. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, what's up everybody? This is Joshua Casper. I'm back at you with another tutorial, and today we're checking out Rob Papen's Verb2, which is a very unique and special and just beastly reverb plugin by the legend himself, Rob Papen, who in fact I got to interview a while back for Ask Audio Magazine, so I'll leave a link to that below. Highly suggest you check it out. The guy's been making plugins since before you even knew what a plugin was, right? So the Reverb2, like I said before, has recently come out, and they sent me a copy to test out and do a review, and I'm not going to really do a review because it's awesome. It's Rob Papen's Verb unit. So what I figured I would do is kind of use it in a tutorial that kind of highlights one of the coolest features that's got going for it. And it's got a lot going for it. There's a lot of unique features in here. There's really nice ways to route the audio through the device itself, which gives you different results. And I'm sure I'll do other tutorials along the way. However, today I want to focus on this reverse section right here. And I've done a number of tutorials for like reversed reverb vocal fade-ins where you have to like chop up a vocal, then reverse it, slap a reverb on it, freeze it, flatten it, then reverse it again and push it in front of the vocals. And it's a fairly lengthy process. I mean, it's not terrible, but Rob Papen has built that functionality right into this reverb, and now it's super easy to accomplish. So let me go ahead and show you this example I have here. I'm gonna go ahead and just play it real quick.
Yeah, baby, you know I'ma break you down tonight, you know. Yeah, yeah. Break you down tonight. Yeah, baby, you know I'ma break you down tonight, you know. Yeah, yeah. Break you down tonight. Yeah, baby.
Okay, so I'm sure you heard it right there. That reverse vocal lead-in is actually being created by the reverb unit Verb2, and it was done very, very easily. So what I'm going to do is actually just go ahead and delete what I had triggering that and show you how to do it if you wanted to do it yourself. Now, another note, I did have the Rob Papen EQ here after it to kind of give it a little bit of beef, and both of these tracks are being sent to a return track with another instance of the Verb2 on it just to make it bigger, because these are dry vocal takes taken from a Singomakers O-V-O Hip Hop pack, which I'm probably going to do a review of in a little bit, but it's pretty dope. I'll leave a link to it too if you want to go check it out, but all of these are from that pack. Go ahead and delete this other channel, we don't need it. So what we want to do here is set up the Rob Papen reverb to get a reverb sample from a part of this vocal and record it and then do the reverse for us. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and delete the reverb unit and that EQ, just drop it back on there, and we can go ahead and get started. So first thing we need to do is just see what kind of reverb we're working with here. So what I'm going to do is control click and drag this selection to bring it up into that channel, and let's go ahead and solo that, just that channel, and see what happens when we play this now. So right off the bat, we got a really lush reverb there, but that's not what we actually want to be working with. So I'm going to go ahead and change this to the vintage type. And the next thing I'm going to do is actually take the amount mixer here for the reverb itself and go all the way to 100% just the reverse. So we're not going to get any of that first reverb section. We're just going to get the reverse tail that is created using this particular module. And there are a couple of things I want to adjust. First is the trigger level. So the trigger level is going to decide when to start the recording process. And I want to bring it down fairly low, not completely low because then anything will get it going. But I want it to start, you know, right when this vocal's happening. Cool. So what we want now, before we start playing with anything else, is to have that reverse reverb lead into this section right here. So what I'm going to do is actually bring it over to about here, because what we want to happen is it to hold on for one bar and then the reverse time to happen over one bar. So what we should see is the hold here and then the reverse here. Let's see if that's what we see. Perfect, right? We're getting it to stop right about there, and we can turn the decay time so it happens a little bit sharper, so it leads right in and then just stops. And we can also boost up the attack time so it actually is a little bit more of a crescendo. And that's pretty much it. That's all you need to do to get that kind of reverse reverb effect. Now you might be saying, Josh, that took a little bit longer than the other method you showed me before, but watch what can happen now. I've got, 8 bars here to deal with, and all I need to do is start chopping and moving pieces. So for this particular one right here, let's just move in right here, and I want this, and just go ahead and drop it right here, right over here actually. Boom. So you can't tell me that this isn't going to save you a bunch of time if you're trying to get this reverse vocal lead-in effect for more than just one instance. You know what I mean? Watch, we can do this over and over again. So let's say this part right here, go ahead and take that and drop it right there. And for this part right here, copy it and put it right here. And you'll notice that it's kind of stacked differently. Like here, it's not on the 1, it's on the 2, and here it's on the 1, and that's because it comes in on the 1 here, and this one actually comes in on the 2, and that way it's kind of a cohesive thing. It's not any gaps in between those things. So if we go ahead and listen to it now. And I know it sounds a little bit large right now, but that's because I'm sending it to that second instance of Rob Papen's reverb. If I turn that down, it'll be a little bit sharper. All right, if I go ahead and turn on that second vocal and go ahead and play everything together now.
Yeah, baby, I'ma break you down tonight, Yeah. Break you down tonight. Yeah, baby,
So it's really easy to get those now over longer periods of time with different vocals that you need that reverse vocal lead-in for using Rob Papen's Verb2. It sounds really dope, especially for this style of music.
Yeah, baby, I'ma break you down tonight, Yeah. Break you down tonight. Yeah, baby.
And you might have noticed that every time I stop it, there's always that one extra reverb tail, and that's because it has recorded it and it's going to play it back every time. So you need to keep that in mind, especially if you're trying to make a track that you're going to publish, or if you're using it in a live environment. You got to remember that one last reverb, so you can either cut the channel or do some automation or something like that to get rid of it if you don't want it. Just something to keep in mind. But like I said before, it's a super great plugin. There's a lot going on here. In the next tutorial, I'm probably going to talk a little bit about the routing. It's got an EQ, a distortion module, the ensemble. You've got early reflections, late reflections, and there are a ton, 118 different presets in there. That's a lot of presets, guys. I just wanted to share that quick little tip using the reverse module inside of this Verb2 by Rob Papen. You should definitely go check it out. I'll leave a link to it on the blog post. I hope you learned something. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, baby, I'ma break you down tonight, Yeah. Break you down tonight. Yeah, baby,